This year's World AIDS Day theme is Let Communities Lead, placing communities at the forefront of confronting the barriers that are driving the global HIV epidemic further. The national commemoration is taking place at Domhlope, a sports field at the Mandeni local municipality in KwaZulu-Natal, and our SABC News reporter Vusi Khumalo has been following the story. Vusi, are we any closer to the proceedings officially starting?
Yes, good morning, Aldrin. Yes, we are here in Mandeni. It's an area that is under Ilembe district municipality. We can certainly confirm the arrival of the Deputy President Paul Mashatile, who is going to deliver the keynote address. The main message of the day being the commemoration of the World AIDS Day here in South Africa. As you know that South Africa has got the high prevalence of HIV positive people in the world. Where the world has got about 39 million people who are HIV positive, and South Africa is about 7.9. That's about 8 million people in the country of South Africa who are living with HIV and AIDS. And also we've heard earlier on Petros Koza from the health department just drawing a grim picture about the state of affairs in terms of efforts in trying to suppress the viral load for people who are HIV positive, and also some of the strides they are making in trying to ensure that 95% of people by 2025 do know their HIV status, and also the 95% by 25 know that those who have diagnosed HIV status do get treatment or are receiving treatment. Currently, just a bigger portion of the 8 million people do get or receive treatment. But with me here are just a number of organizations who are at the coalface of fighting the spread and also capping the spread of HIV/AIDS. At the moment, we've got a guest who's representing the sex workers organization called Sisonke Sex Workers Sector, Mr. Katlego Rasebitse, who's going to tell us about some of the challenges that they are encountering in their workplace and also in the organization trying to make. We know that sex work is part or among one of the key population in terms of high risk of infections of HIV and AIDS, and also with a lot of stigma attached to the people who are in this sector of sex work. How then do you encounter such challenges? How then do you maneuver through? Because there's quite a lot of stigma.
One thing that I need to just to clarify before the Deputy President speaks is to say, for the fact that sex work remains criminalized in South Africa, that it's an HIV barrier, whereby like you'll see a high prevalence of sex workers in the country not willingly enough to attend clinics because of already the stigma is quite high in the clinics. And not only that, for the fact that we are saying by 2030 we want to end HIV, TB and STI by leaving no one behind as the country collectively. So if sex work is still a crime in South Africa, and we're talking adults that are consenting, adults that are saying this is my body, my business, we will never reach the target that we have set for ourselves under the universal health coverage. And that being said, I sit in the council of the AIDS committee, where I'm responsible also to advise the Deputy President of the country around the coordination of how do we better these responses, the interventions that comes with funders globally, to say at the end of the day, sex workers there must not be left behind in any conversation, whether from the district levels, from the provincial levels. This should be an ongoing discussion to say that we must make sure every sex work is being counted in any conversation that's been carried out in this country.
We know that sex work is criminal in the country of South Africa. We are told there are some processes that you are engaging in terms of making it being legal to operate in sex work.
And we have approached the
Where are we in terms of that?
we are at a stage where the submissions have been done, and then we did receive a letter through the Department of Justice where the Minister Lamola responded to say that they are ready to have a consultation with us, whereby it's a good move because we are aware that we are about just to go into elections, whereby everybody in their manifestos, they're going to be also saying that, but we do support the decriminalisation of sex work. But when it comes to the implementation of that promises, which many political parties are doing that, it's very quite difficult for that. And we've seen lots of political parties, they don't have a clear HIV manifesto to say, as a particular X and X political party, what is our position when it comes to sex workers, especially in the HIV context. So these are some of the things that we normally raise to politicians and those who are in powers in this country.
Today's theme is, or event is being held under the theme, Let Communities Lead. In terms of your organization and in terms of the work, how do you then align that theme in your work?
Yesterday we had what you call it was a policy in action where we invited over 100 sex workers in Shakaville, whereby sex workers themselves, they raise critical challenges whereby the police are still harassing them, police are still using them as ATMs, police are still kind of even going as far as raping them and making sure that before you get released, you pay up to 300 rand. We've been seeing these challenges happening in many years, whereby at the end of the day, we're trying to find a way to say, but how now do we sensitize, especially young policemen who are now, in the services, to make sure that sex work is not that huge crime that it should be seen as murder or a robbery, but this is just adults who are just, satisfying themselves, and it should be seen as a form of a health therapy that's being provided by adults who are consenting.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you so much.
Okay, that's Mr. Katlego Rasebitse, who is representing the organization called Sisonke Sex Workers Sector, saying that they are still being harassed, especially by young policemen because sex work is still criminal in the country of South Africa.